Good evening, everyone. It's Jeanette Martin, brand ambassador for JD Farms, and it is talking turkey with me. Oh my gosh, I'm tripping over my words tonight. Tonight's recipe is another Tex-Mex recipe. Actually, it's actually real Mexican because enchiladas, but I'm putting my own little twist on it. I'm on this Mexican food kick these days. I find it's very warming, it's very satisfying, and a lot of times you can make the recipes ahead of time, which this recipe tonight I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it in my fridge, and then I'm going to have it for supper tomorrow night. This is also a recipe you could make up, and if you had a glass dish with a tight-fitting lid, you could make it up and then freeze it. So I'll tell you when we get to the point where you'd stick it into the freezer. So to start with, I started about half an hour ago before you guys got on here because I'm sure you didn't want to watch turkey poaching. This is about a 3-ounce piece of JD Farms turkey breast. If you had leftover turkey still, or if you froze some turkey from Christmas time, would work perfectly well. I put 2 cups of water and 2 teaspoons, two heaping teaspoons. I'm tripping over my teas tonight. Of the JD Farms Gobbling Good turkey rub. Like I said, this is a magic little ingredient that I love having because it's got all the spices in it. There was a Cajun chef, I think Paul Prudhomme, who kind of came up with the term the magic spice, and that's where he took a bunch of spices and made it into one jar. That's what JD Farms has done with this. So I love it. It's got lots of good different spices in it. So I cooked my turkey breast for about 15 minutes. I made sure it was cooked all the way through. And I'm left with about a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of the poaching liquid. So what we want to do is I started doing it a little bit before you got here and came into my own home kitchen, is pulling the turkey apart. So you take 2 forks and you'll see that a turkey breast has got long, let's call it ribbons that go this way in the breast. So that's kind of what you do. You pull it apart, take your fork, and you just want to shred it. A lot of times you do the same technique if you're making a pulled pork, and you kind of pull it apart. You'll see the long pieces, and I'm just pulling it apart and getting it into that lovely, very fragrant spice mixture. So you kind of, one fork stays kind of stationary to keep it steady, and you pull it apart. And you want to end up with pieces, guys, about like so, small, because that's what we're going to stuff into. I have little flour tortilla shells, so I need my turkey pretty small. So that's just going to sit aside for now. So there you go. You can see the shredded turkey in there. So let's just set that aside. We're going to make a very quick enchilada sauce. An enchilada sauce is very thin, like it's a thinned out tomato-based sauce. So I am going to make one really quick. I have a cup of my favorite jarred salsa. Going to add just about a half a teaspoon of that magic JD Farm spice, not a lot. Take a look, and if you know your salsa has got the right kind of salt seasoning for you, you may not want to do this. I do. And the JD Farms Mexican chili spice. I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon in there as well. And I'm going to grab a half a cup of water. I almost poured it into there. Okay. I love these organic fresh herbs that you get over in the produce section. This one is cilantro. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that cilantro. If you had fresh cilantro, a bunch, you can use that. I just find these is very handy, especially when you're making a nice little sauce. About a teaspoon squirt of that. Let's put the lid on. First of all, I always want to make sure the little rubber piece It's good. Nice and tight. You could do this with a hand stick blender as well. Hi, having fish tacos and coleslaw. Oh, you're right on track with me then, Darlene. Okay, so in. And I want to take it pretty thin. I don't really want any little chunks in it. Okay, that's good. I'm going to show you in my in a bowl, so you can in a clear bowl. The first thing, this is where I'm going to roll and put my enchiladas in. I just want to put a couple of tablespoons in the bottom of my pan. That'll prevent it from sticking. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do some vegetables on top of that. So I'm just going to pour that in to there now. And while I'm chopping up my veg, I'm going to get my shells soaking in this liquid. Soften them up. Get them pliable. So that's going to sit aside. Oh, woo! Nice smell, nice smell. So I like to do a little bit of a bed of vegetable on the bottom of my enchiladas. And that way when they cook up and you pull out the enchiladas, you've got that vegetable to kind of put onto the top. And if you were going to serve this with a little bit of, say, refried beans on the side or some rice on the side, you've got a little bit of a, let's call it a garnish. So I've got a half of red pepper. You could use a yellow pepper or an orange pepper. Slicing it pretty thin to go on the bottom. And you're just kind of sprinkling them on the bottom. It's going to kind of act like a little bit of a shelf or a rack. So you can kind of see it in the bottom. And I've got a half of a small white onion. And I'm going to cut the onion long ways, not across ringwise. The same, very small. Don't want to do it too big because you don't want raw onions. These enchiladas are going to cook pretty quickly, so we don't want to have any kind of a raw onion. And again, that's going on the bottom. Just spreading around. It adds another flavor dimension as well. So I'm going to clean my hands up so you can kind of see. So now we're going to take, and this is the messy part, but you know what? I heard down a phrase once upon a time about barbecue. If it ain't on your face, it's not barbecue. If it's not on your fingers, it's, why get in the kitchen? It's the best tool. The best tool. Okay. So we want to take my enchilada pan going this way, because I'm going to roll it that way. I've got 5 of them. You kind of pick it up, and you want to make sure you get lots of the kind of sauce on there. Take a little bit of that meat. I'm doing 5. And see, by soaking the shell in that enchilada sauce, it makes the shell that much easier to roll. So tucking that into the pan. And the next one coming out. How's everybody doing tonight? Are we? Please tell me you're not tired of turkey leftovers. How can you ever be tired of turkey leftovers? I still have the carcass to make a big soup. I roasted my bones with the celery and carrots and onions and stuff like that. And they're sitting in my freezer. So when I want to make a nice big turkey broth, I will have it ready. Okay, yeah, that looks about right. And rolling that nice and tight. Giving it a little bit of space. The shell will plump up a bit when these guys are cooking. The last little bit of the shell or the turkey, a little bit more. So you see how about 3 ounces of turkey goes a long way. Okay, and the last one out of here. We don't want to waste any of that juice. Heavens to Betsy, has some good flavor. So I'm just going to dump that extra little bit of juice into my enchilada sauce here. So Darlene, are you a flour tortilla or taco, or are you a corn tortilla taco person? Because some people, like when I go for fish tacos, I like a corn tortilla, but a double corn tortilla. So which one do you like to use? Just want to get the rest of that beautiful sauce into here. And then I'm going to take my cutting board, bring this back. Get that sauce. Pour that over my enchiladas, over my shells. Perfect. And you want to make sure that they're pretty snug and got that sauce. I'll just get rid of these so you can kind of see. My cloth. Oh, always keeping it clean. So you see in the pan, should be corn, but heavy multi-grain. Oh, excellent. Okay, so you see how they're all nice and snug in there. I've got about a cup. This is a grated 4 cheese. You could use Oaxacan cheese. You could use, but it should be like a white, sharper cheese. And guys, that's it. That's how quick you can pull together a beautiful turkey enchilada. I'm going to put a piece of plastic wrap on this, put it into my fridge, and then I'm going to bake this off. First of all, always remember when you put something in your fridge and then you're going to put it in the oven to bake, always take out your dish and bring it to room temperature. So, and that's because if you put this right cold into the oven, it's going to bring the temperature of your oven down. So bring it out, room temperature, probably 15 minutes to 30 minutes. It's probably when your oven is heating up. At 350, I'll put a piece of tin foil on the top of this for 20 minutes. Then I will take that tin foil off, and then for about 10 minutes, leave it so my cheese can get nice and bubbly and a little bit crunchy on the top. So there you have it. Some beautiful turkey enchiladas made very quickly with items that I found in my pantry. My jarred salsa, I always keep that on hand in my pantry. And of course, JD Farms turkey breasts are super duper easy to store in your freezer. So thank you so much for tuning in for another edition of Talking Turkey with me, the brand ambassador for JD Farms. From the JD Farms family and our staff and our incredible team of farmers, we want to again say happy new year, and here's to a joyous new year for you all, that you're at home, you're making great recipes to share with your family and your friends, and just enjoying each other, because that's what it's all about, is making great memories while you get around the kitchen table. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Beautiful, eh? Nice and easy, nice easy supper to do. So enjoy your night, everybody. I'll take a picture like this, and then I'll take another picture tomorrow when it comes out of the oven, and then put them both together and post it on the social media, on JD Farms page. If you are catching this on the replay and you want to know any of the recipe, just put it in the comments. And hey, I just thought of something. You guys are watching? Let's have a contest. I can do that. Throw the little chili pepper into the comments. And I'm going to draw for $20 JD Farms gift card next Thursday. You know, as a brand ambassador, I can do that. Hi, Rhonda. Hey, Darlene and Rhonda and Rachel, drop the chili pepper. Drop the chili pepper into the comments. And I'm giving away a $20 JD Farms gift card. So, there you go. Okay, everybody. That's it. Bye-bye. Have a good night.